And a good spiritual morning to you once again. I'm Father Cosmas.
I'm Pres Michelle.
Thank you for joining us today for a quick chat. And of course, our morning cup of coffee.
Good morning, everybody. It's wonderful to be with you today. We hope you're having a great day.
Absolutely. And so we're trying to figure out what to talk about for today. And the Christmas fast is upon us, right?
And you know how you know that? It's because of what's on your radio in your car, because now they start, November 2nd?
Is that Christmas. What it is? Halloween.
It feels like it, yeah.
When you have a Halloween party, you play Christmas music, don't you? So. Because we start in October now. But anyway, November 15th.
Here we go, yeah.
November 15th, the Christmas fast. Yes, there is a Christmas fast. Yes, the legends are true.
I didn't grow up with it.
The legends are true. It does exist.
It does exist.
The Nativity Fast beginning on November 5th, because it's 40 days. So 40 days before December 25th, November 15th, there is a fast. It is true. Rumors are true. And we're supposed to be fasting. Beginning...
Father, nobody wants to.
Well, I mean, I didn't say that you want to do it.
You just need to know that it exists.
It exists, and you're supposed to do it. As Orthodox Christians, we are supposed to do it.
Okay.
And so we're talking about how to do it, I think, in reality, right? What is the reality of it? How can we do it? First of all, if you're already doing it and you're used to doing it every year and you've got your way that you do it and you're following it, God bless you. You're in the top 99 percentile, the top 1%. The other 99% are like, Christmas fast? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And so, or they know about it and they just like, yeah, that's for somebody, at a different spiritual level than me. I'm not.
You're not one of those.
Yeah, I'm not advanced enough to. That's for priests and monks and nuns and not the rest of us. But so we are supposed to begin fasting November 15th. Mm-hmm. The general rule of the fast is it's not as strict of a fast as Lent.
Okay.
It's sometimes they say it's Lent for Christmas. It's not Lent for Christmas. I know we sometimes use the word Advent Lent or Christmas Lent. It's a pet peeve of mine because...
What's the proper term? Nativity fast?
It's a nativity fast. The reason you can't say Lent is because Lent comes from the Latin word lente, which means spring.
Oh.
So you can't say it's the spring Christmas fast. That makes no sense. It sounds stupid. It's not a Lent. There's only one Lent.
Got it.
And that's in the spring, getting ready for crucifixion and ultimately, of course, the resurrection. But for Christmas, it's a little bit less subdued. It's less strict. It's not, sort of somber, dark. It's festive. It's
we're
happy.
in a good mood. It's joyful. Decorating the house.
It's joyful. And fasting, in a sense, should kind of plug us into that joy. It shouldn't be, oh my gosh, now I got to fast. It should be, oh, okay, I get to fast. What's the point of fasting, right? What's the point of it? That we're connecting what we're doing every day to Christ, which is, it's a pretty good thing for Christians to do. But also the idea that we all associate the Christmas fast or the nativity period, the Christmas period, the holidays, with giving. We want to be charitable, right? The charities are all overwhelmed and they're overflowing for 2 months. And then the rest of the year, they're struggling to get back to those 2 months. And so, yes, the idea of the fast is, I'm going to give up what I would have been spending and doing. I'm not going to go out and have, a $100 meal. I'm not going to have the lobster and the steak and spend all this money. I'm going to stay home. I'm going to save that money, have my peanut butter and jelly sandwich, take that $100 and feed people that don't have any food.
Yeah.
And so that's joyous in a sense, because what a great feeling you get from helping people. And so it should bring us joy.
It's a little bit hard. I think sometimes even as adults, we find ourselves making our little wish list. Christmas is like, hey, what do I want for Christmas?
Sure.
What does my house want? My house wants a new TV. My house wants a new this.
What does my house want?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think sometimes we become a little bit like children and we want to buy a lot of things for each other. And I think I like what you're saying. We can't forget that it's a season of giving and charity.
Sure.
And there's, I think there's some fun things that we can do to get ready for Christmas.
It is, because that's a temptation. It's sort of like, I'm going to go Christmas shopping. Right? Or I'm going to go shopping for the holidays. And we go out, we spend $10 on a cup of coffee, we spend $100 on lunch, we go out and we buy our presents. And while we're out and we see something that we might like or might be nice for our house, it's kind of 2 for you, 1 for me, 2 for you, 1 for me. And, we're kind of tempted by, it would be nice to have that. Maybe I'm going to host something, so I need all of this and all of that and all of this.
We spend a lot of money.
And before you know it, you've blown $1,000 and you haven't helped anybody. And so the Christmas fast is kind of this reminder. It's not just about, you can't have meat and you have to have fish. somebody asked me that the other day. We were at an event and it was on a fast day, and we were having fish. I wasn't, because I don't eat fish, but they were saying, Father, we can't have fish because it's got bones and blood. We can have something else. So I said, well, yeah, but fasting on a regular basis, we do the best that we can. Don't get lost in sort of the rules of the fasting and forget the whole purpose of what we're trying to do. Now, I'm not saying that happens too often, because most people are not fasting
at all,
period. And we should be fasting. And that's kind of the thing where I think,
are we missing we're not connecting the dots.
We're not connecting dots, and we're forgetting why we're doing it. Again, because it's supposed to be associated with works of mercy and works of love. I'm giving up something to save resources to help people. And I'm also learning to discipline myself when my body or when, my desires come out and say, well, I want this, I want that, I want this. I'm sure I'd love to have a steak every day. Maybe you need to control that a little bit, right? Put your soul in charge of your body, not your body in charge of
you want your soul to gain some good weight, not your body, because we always gain weight over the holidays.
We're putting on
way too many cookies, and we're baking and eating.
And by the way, you can fast and blow
still
up
gain weight.
Pretty well.
Yeah,
you can still put on that 10 pounds because you're carbo loading. Yeah. But I think far too often we sort of say, well, don't worry about it. And I know I'm guilty of this as a priest. I try to tell people, look, focus on the real meaning of it. Do the best that you can. I know that you're not fasting. Thanksgiving's coming up, so I know you're breaking the fast because we have a holiday
for Turkey Day.
Associated with overeating in the middle of a fasting period. Culturally,
that's really hard on people.
It's kind of we're not working well there with that cultural tradition. Yeah. But you know what? I also feel like the older I get, I feel like telling people, look, and I'm going to say it, you can do it. I mean, come on, how hard is it? Oh, Father, I can't do it. Come on. If you really want to do it, you could do it. It's not that hard. I believe in you. Yeah. You can do it. If you really say to yourself, you know what, I want to fast for 40 days and I'm going to give something up. Okay. And you're not 6 years old, so you don't get to give up chocolate and say you're fasting. I'm sorry. The church has guidelines. Try to follow the guidelines. Give up meat. You can do it. Give up dairy products. You can have fish on certain days.
That's a challenge.
We sort of say
the priest here.
Yes, come on.
That's a challenge.
You can do it. If you needed to do it for other reasons other than spiritually, you would make it happen. If you went to your doctor and your doctor said, no, you have to do this. Here's what you have to do. I think you would try pretty hard to do it. Right.
So we're looking at the spiritual doctors of the church who are telling us
for health.
For a lot of people too, if I could give my opinion on what I like to do is I find that it's really hard that it's dark at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
And then I think, oh my gosh, we're going to have dinner. And then I've got 4 or 5 hours before I'm going to go to bed. What am I doing? Because we're not outside as much, especially if you're not in California. In California, we're blessed to be outside a little bit more.
You can be outside,
you can. So during the Christmas fast, I think I enjoy adding reading. Because you've always said, it's not always about taking away. It's also about adding in our spiritual journey.
Right. Should be balanced.
Part of the journey, I think it's a great time to pick up a book about a saint, pick up the Bible, pick up anything that is motivating me to become closer to Christ. Because there's going to be 20, 30 minutes during that time between dinner and bed where it's pitch black out. And, you know what I mean? The day feels longer because of the darkness. So don't feel the darkness. Pick up something that's joyful and add that to your fasting and your charity. Add a little something to your life that makes it feel joyful for the holidays.
Absolutely. It's positive. It's not just, we say, it's not just removing things.
Right.
It's the food by itself. The food's not evil.
Yeah.
It's just the idea of, like we said, it's resource management and it's discipline. Well, why do I have to give that up? Because we know you like it. That's why you have to give it up, because we know you like it. Why do I have to give up steak? Gee, I wonder why.
The church knows better.
We know that's something you like, and that's something that's expensive. So that's the irony. Don't say,
that's
well,
a sacrifice.
I'm not. All right, I'm not going to do that, and I'm going to fast. And this is how you can abuse sort of the loopholes in the guidelines, because you can fast and have shellfish, right? Because it doesn't have bones or blood. And so you can say, well, I'm not going to go out and have the chicken burger, which would cost me $8. I'm going to have the lobster for $49 and say I'm fasting. Okay, that's just hypocrisy. It's pharisaical. Don't do that. The idea is stay home. Don't have the chicken sandwich. Stay home. Make yourself a PB&J for $1.59.
Or a veggie burger.
Take the extra money, whatever it can be, and feed people that don't have anything.
Yeah.
That let your fasting become a work of mercy, become an act of love. It's not supposed to be an act of deprivation. It's supposed to be an act of love.
Yeah, because if it puts us in a bad mood, then that's not helping our spiritual growth.
Right. And it's going to for a little bit.
It's hard.
It should take about a week to adjust. It should take, if you're fasting, really fasting, it should take about a week for you to say, I feel a little drained. I'm a little irritable. I want to take a swing at most people I see. Why is that? Well, because you're fasting. And it should balance out in 8 or 9 days. And all of a sudden, you should start getting all this energy if you're doing it right. And you should feel good about it. And you should feel light and energetic and say, wow, I can do a lot of other things, like read a good book, like read the Bible, like say your prayers, like volunteer and help people and be kind and be patient. And
any little thing is better than nothing. That's why I said whether it's 15 minutes or 30 minutes or an hour, whatever you like to read or whatever you like to do, or whether you just say, I'm not going to watch these kind of programs for 40 days because they're mature or violent or whatever. Any little bit is a step in the right direction, and be ready to be frustrated, like Father said. Be ready to.
It's normal.
Be angry, because the demons are going to come at you and say, "I don't want you getting closer to Christ. I'm going to make this really annoying for you."
Sure.
But any step, I think that's what I like what you say. Any step, whether it's emptying out your closet with your family and saying we're going to donate these, whether it's like you said, eating small and giving money to charity, pick something.
Right.
Don't just dismiss it.
Right.
That's
don't just say, I've heard about some sort of
and
fast.
We don't do that in our house.
But that's for the pious people. We're not pious people. We're normal. We're normal people. We're not pious people. So we disregard that. No, you're pious people. You're Christians, right? You're holy people. All Christians are holy people by virtue of the fact that we receive the sacraments of the church. We all become holy because of that. And so we're trying to build on that holiness. So to whatever extent you can, I guess, know there is a fast. Know that you should be participating in the fast. You don't get a free pass. There are no free passes to say, no, you don't have to do that. Some way, shape, or form, say, okay, I'm going to do something. I'm going to give up some kind of food. And in addition to that, I'm going to give up maybe something else. And I'm going to add something positive so that I can really zero in on Christ. That's what we're trying to do. Know that, oh, we're getting ready to celebrate the birth of our Savior. I should do something about that. I should feel some kind of way about that. And it should make me, try in the spiritual life to struggle in a good way and to feel the joy of the fast and to do that each and every day.
Amen.